What's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again to the Growth channel, where we're grassrooting our wealth, tradition, and heritage. Hey, today I want to bring you a story out of Florida, and it's about a young brother that hit an old dude for calling him a racial slur and killed him. And we're gonna get to the sentencing, but first I want to bring you the backstory. I want to read you the story from last year, and then see how it led up to what's going on now. So this is out again, the Daily Mail, and it reads. This is from last May, I believe, 2021, and it reads: Dunkin' Donuts store manager, 27, is charged with manslaughter after he fatally punched a customer, 77, who called him a racial slur. Said Dunkin' Donuts. Say Corey Pujols, 27, is accused of striking the elderly customer with a single punch at a Dunkin' Donuts store in a Marathon gas station in Tampa, Florida, last week. Now, again, this is from May of 2021. The punch sent the man falling backwards, causing him to hit his head on the concrete floor. The man, who has not been named by authorities, was rushed to the hospital, where he died 2 days later. The incident unfolded at the coffee shop at 410 South 50th Street, just south of the Leroy Selman Expressway, at around 1:30 p.m. on May 4th. Oh, that was a great day. Tampa police said the 77-year-old had first gone through the drive-through window at the Dunkin' Donuts store. He then became upset with the staff about a lack of service and was asked to leave by store employees. Well, maybe he was probably upset because it was moving kind of slow, but around about that time, people wasn't working. So maybe they were short-staffed like most of these places. Police said the elderly man instead parked his car. Now, 77, you just sit your butt down. Parked his car and entered the store, where he got into a verbal argument with Pujols. Pujols claimed the man was a regular customer at the store and was extremely rude that day, according to the arrest report. Pujols, who is black, said the customer then called him a racial slur. I can just imagine what he said, how he said it, and how he felt when he called him that name that we all know that he said. The 27-year-old said he confronted the man about the slur, which is, telling him to repeat what he had just said. Stop right there. This here shows that we do have a chance with our youth. Young brother's 27. I'm sure he listens. Well, I ain't gonna say sure, but I'm willing to bet that he listened to his fair share of rap music. I know I listen to it old school, not really the new stuff, but it's a lot of the older stuff. But we know that this music contains a lot of references using the N-word. Well, let me say racial slurs amongst ourselves, to where even a lot of these youngsters of other ethnicities, they'll rap right along with the rappers, and then a lot of these rappers get upset saying, no, these people, these other ethnicities are not using this word, but it's like you'll get in front of them and rap it all day, take their money, and have no problem with it. But anyway, like I said, this shows that we do have a chance in the future, because the youngster heard this word and was visually upset, to the point of where he probably walked from behind the counter and said, hey man, repeat what you just said to me. And right on cue, the 77-year-old racist repeated it. Anyway, so back to the story. When the customer repeated it, Pujols punched him once in the face, sending him backwards to the ground, the report said. The slur was not described further by police. I'm sure it wasn't, because we all know what he said. Kind of reminded me like this video I saw like a couple weeks ago, where this older guy kept saying, he was with his wife, he was arguing with his brother, and he kept calling him the N-word. Dude told him to say it again. He just said it with conviction, and the dude pretty much just pimp slapped him. He didn't punch him. He just slapped him like 4 or 5 times, just to get his mind straight. The incident was captured on the store's surveillance camera with the footage showing the customer did not touch Pujols first, reports Tampa Bay Times. Now you see how the narrative is going, because they showed Pujols' picture. I say 77-year-old man. The man is an adult, but they won't release his name. You see they protecting I guess you can call him a victim, I guess, but they're protecting the old racist who put the brother out there on Front Street. Police and fire rescue crews were called to the scene to find an elderly man unconscious and the head bleeding. He was taken to Tampa General Hospital and placed in intensive care. He died 2 days later on Friday. An autopsy showed he suffered a skull fracture and brain contusion as a result of blunt trauma to the head, reported Tampa Bay Times. This is self-inflicted. He brought it on himself. It's like, I don't know if it was 77, was it 50 years ago? Hell, that was in the 60s and 70s, I guess, yeah, Florida. So I guess he felt it was okay to use that kind of words, and black folks weren't gonna say nothing, huh? His death will be ruled a homicide, the Hillsborough Medical Examiner's Office said. Pujols, the brother, was initially arrested for battery on a person older than 65 following the incident. He was released on $2,000 bond the next day. Following the death, he was rearrested and charged with aggravated manslaughter of a person older than 65. He was held without bail. If convicted, he faced up to 30 years behind bars. Dunkin' Donuts said they were deeply saddened by the incident. We are deeply saddened by the incident at our franchise restaurant in Tampa, Florida. The franchisee, who independently owns and operates the restaurant, see how they're trying to make sure they clear themselves from being sued, is fully cooperating with the local authorities. As this is an ongoing investigation, we defer any additional questions to the police. Which brings us to the most recent story, and we'll get this from Yahoo News. It said Duncan employee fatally punches man who used racial slur, charged and sentenced. Clickbait, because I didn't tell you how much what he got sentenced for. But here we go. A black Dunkin' Donuts employee based in Tampa, Florida, had confronted an angry customer who was using racial slurs toward him, resulting in a fatal punch to the customer. The employee, Corey Pujols, had pleaded guilty to felony battery and has been sentenced to 2 years of house arrest, reported CBS News. Benell Cook, 77, was reportedly a regular at this particular Dunkin' store. According to the court records obtained by NBC, Cook went to order a coffee in the drive-thru and he began berating the employees for poor service after they said they were having trouble hearing him. When Cook died 3 days later from his injuries, as reported by CBS, Pujols was originally charged with manslaughter. However, prosecutors found Pujols did not have intentions of killing Cook, considering his youth and lack of criminal record. They looked out for this brother, but man, hold on. Let's see. From NBC, he was asked to leave, but he parked his car, went inside the store. When Cook appeared inside the store, Pujols asked co-workers to call the police. Prosecutors said Cook began arguing with Pujols. Once Cook said the racial slur, Pujols walked around the corner and told him not to say it again. When he repeated, Pujols hit him in the jaw and Cook fell to the floor. An autopsy said he suffered a skull fracture and brain contusion. Again, this old man, unfortunately, I don't want to talk bad about the dead, but he brought it on himself. Two of the primary factors were the aggressive approach the victim took toward the defendant and everyone working with the defendant, and that the victim repeatedly used possibly the most aggressive and offensive term in the English language, said Grayson Cam, a spokesperson for the Hillsborough State Attorney Andrew Warren via Tampa Bay Times. A Tampa Bay judge sentenced Corey, Mr. Pujols, to 2 years of house arrest and ordered 200 hours of community service and the anger management course. This is kind of like a bittersweet victory. I was happy for the brother. I'm still happy for the brother that he didn't get 30 years. But I hated that one, he had to plead guilty, which means that'll be on his record. He's still young. So who knows how this will affect his job chances. Because now he got to be under house arrest for 2 years, which means he can't go anywhere for 2 years unless the courts allow him to go to work, get a job, go to work, get employment, and they let him leave and then come back by the end of the day. And then he got to do 200 hours of community service. which is a lot. Do I think he deserved any of that? Like I said, I'm not sure. If you got to compare it to 30 years, and again that he had to plead guilty, then that's a lot. I mean, it's a big difference. But he brother, he dodged a bullet. That's all I'm gonna say, brother. You dodged a bullet. That was, you know what I'm saying. You did what you did what you needed to do, what you felt you needed to do, because you got to teach these folks a lesson that, hey, you just can't go around calling folks this all willy-nilly. Like I say, like it's the 1800s. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave comments in the description box below. Hey, if you like the video, hey, be sure to like it, hit that like button, and share it with your family and friends so they can hear this content too, and they can, talk, what I'm saying, leave their opinions and comments left below. If you want to support the channel, you can hit the CashApp, or you can hit the website, purchase some merchandise, and you can have get you something tangible in exchange for the content that we bring in. Because I was always trying to improve the channel, improve the content, and hopefully that we can get better and better, and everybody, you can enjoy and learn, also be entertained, and also educated along the way. With that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.